here's the etiquette. Do we say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year? Or do we say Happy Holidays? Ramasani, how do you do? So this all depends. Are you a 50-50 feminist? Or are you hypergamous, gold digger, traditional, etc., or a sugar baby, and so on and so forth, right? So do you split the bill 50-50 or you don't, right? There is different etiquette for both because the world has changed, right? We no longer live in Victorian England where atheists would be hung, right? Or imprisoned for blasphemy, which kept the society rather stable. People knew what the social rules were. But now that we have total freedom, there is a consequence. So what happens when you have freedom? You end up having polarization of society, and people have different niches. People grow polarized and apart. And all this freedom results in polarization, right? So, and you often have left, right, etc., etc. But for women, really, it's 50-50 versus women who want the conservative four-leaf clover, whether or not they're conservative themselves, right? And the four-leaf clover is 2 P's, 2 C's. Provide, protect, commit, cherish, right? So the four-leaf clover of social conservatism, very often it's something liberal women who are sugar babies, gold diggers, and so on. That's what they want. So they might be left-wing. However, they know that's not how you sugar from a generous gentleman. One sugar baby on YouTube said if you act demure, you act traditional, you'll get more money. You know, Chanel, unlike Hermes, they make lots of handbags, so they're not as exclusive, right? But they still have customers. So Chanel acts demure, whereas Hermes is demure. So do we say Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays? That depends on do you like splitting bills or you don't as a lady. Because of social media and a polarized world, you can no longer please everyone. It's not Victorian England, right? So if you want to split the bill 50-50, you say Happy Holidays. If you don't like splitting the bill 50-50, you say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And if you offend 50-50 people, why should you care, right? Now, if you work in an office where most women split the bill 50-50, well, say Happy Holidays to them and say Merry Christmas to the hypergamous ones. And where does the etiquette come from? So, in the Middle East, if you're living in Dubai, let's say you're white, and your friend or colleague is Indian, and it's the Eid holiday, what do you say? Happy Holidays? Of course not. You'll say Eid Mubarak. They'll say Eid Mubarak. Because you know what? It's not necessarily a Muslim holiday. If you live in the Emirates, you're both going out to celebrate, and it's a lovely festive time. When people wish non-Muslims Ramadan Kareem or Eid Mubarak, they're wishing you a happy festive holiday time. They're not imposing their religion on you. If you're an expat, non-Hindu in India, and someone wishes you Happy Holi, they're not imposing their religion on you. They just wish that you enjoy this lovely holiday where people have colorful, water or paint on each other, so that you enjoy the festivities of the day. When someone says Merry Christmas, they're not being ridiculous and imposing Christianity on you. In the Middle East, in Dubai, people say Merry Christmas to each other, meaning celebrating the gold-digging holiday of the year, aside from the 2 Eids. In North America, Muslims say Merry Christmas to each other. It's not religious. It's not that they're both trying to convert into religion. No, it's just saying kindly, I hope you enjoy this holiday of sparkling lights, joy, and exchanging of gifts. Happy holiday, right? So that's what they mean by saying Merry Christmas, and it's respect to whatever originated that holiday. It's no different than expats and foreigners saying Happy Eid or Happy Ramadan to each other in the Emirates. When you're living in a country, and let's say you're living in India that's Hindu, and people say Happy Diwali, well, or if you're in the Middle East, they say Happy Ramadan, or they say Merry Christmas. It's because it's relatively a secular holiday if the whole nation celebrates it. It's only passive aggressive if you see someone is clearly Jewish, right? And it's Hanukkah and you tell him Merry Christmas, then that's rude. Is it rude to say Happy Valentine's Day? No, right? And some people, if they're single, if somebody says Happy Valentine's Day, like the cashier, they're grown up adults and they'll say thank you. They won't get offended by it. People who get offended by everything because that's the fashion in the mainstream in the West, these people, they're not going to like you. One day they'll be your friend and the next day they'll be offended by something. And this is why I'm wearing fur. In the 21st century, we have freedom, right? That means there is no dominant, unalive this group, unalive that group for racial, religious hegemony, right? But that also means you cannot make everyone happy. And you have to choose who are your people, and you cater to your people and ignore the rest. Then others will respect you. If you're trying too hard to be liked, and I made this mistake when I was younger, no one ends up respecting you, therefore no one ends up liking you. If you want to be popular, you have to be respected. And being respected means you have to have the courage to be disliked and even hated, right? Martin Luther King was not liked by everyone. Mother Teresa has haters, right? And, everyone of consequence has haters. Jesus was hung on a cross. The Prophet Muhammad was persecuted. The more powerful, famous, or consequential you become, the more haters you have because the more people are going to be jealous. You cannot make everyone like you. The best you can do is find a group of people who might not like you, but will respect you. And then over time, some of them may begin to like you. Because in this polarized world, there is no one who is consequential whom everyone likes. That's just the way things are now. In the 21st century, if you're well liked, it's because you're a loser, right? If you're well liked by everyone. If you're consequential, if you're important, if you're high value, you will have a nemesis. You will have haters. You'll have someone jealous of you. If you don't have haters, no one is jealous of you, it means you're not a high value person. So contemporary etiquette is also about understanding reality, that you cannot make everyone happy. So sometimes you have to pick your niche. For example, Victoria's Secrets, right? They decided to cater to people and to be everything to everyone, and they alienated their core audience who just wanted to be pretty and have pretty women on stage. And didn't mind that that was toxic. So when they removed the toxicity, the original audience who liked them for their toxicity left. Because, where's the Victoria's Secret angels, right? Since Victoria's Secret didn't have a history of being body positive from day one like Fenty, their haters hated them even though they did everything the haters asked for, right? They still never bought because they weren't authentically body positive from the beginning, and they lost their audience who wanted to see beautiful women who were, those angels, right? So they had to stop listening to the protesters and haters and go back to what the original audience wanted to drive back profits. Therefore, you have to know your niche, ignore haters, know whether you're catering to 50-50 or do you want a gentleman to get your bills paid, and then appeal to that audience. Real Masani? Signing off. Like or hate, share and subscribe, and comment your thoughts below. Ciao!